Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pearlo Wisdom Show, where the NHL is getting slammed by COVID. My gosh, would you just stop it for a bit? You got teams like the Nashville Predators. They don't have anybody left on the roster. Florida, pretty much same thing. Uh, it's not really fair, and it's diluting the quality of the NHL. Seriously, like uh, it, if it keeps up the way it is, and they keep on putting rosters up there that like this, when somebody wins a cup, it's going to be like, okay, so the person that stayed COVID free the longest won a cup. Like, I don't know. It's too bad. It's too bad. We'll see where it goes, but Nashville and Florida are in bad shape. What did they brought up Denisenko, Kierstad, Prisky, Cole Schwent. They are without Carter Verhaeghe, Ryan Lomberg, Sam Bennett, Brandon Montour, Radko Gudas. Barkov is injured, and then Marchment, Achari, Forsling. I mean, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Coyotes put Cross and Beagle on COVID protocol. What's Nashville? They've lost like Cousins, Granlund, Ryan Johansson, Matt Luff, Michael McCarron. Okay, those aren't that. It's just really those two main guys. It's not so bad, but it's not great either. Crazy. Why did they get? Because the players wanted them to get rid of taxi squads, and I agree. Like, so what if the players wanted that? Maybe the players said they weren't going to play if they had taxi squads because they're away from their family. I find that very hard to believe. But I agree. They should be taxi squads and whatever. But hey, CL, how you doing, buddy? Welcome in, man. So the games last, that's a big story. Chychrun is still the big story. I've sent Chychrun, like, I don't think people really appreciate how much it's going to cost to get Chychrun. I just did a video on it, and I'm getting a lot of hate mail. I'm getting a lot of hate mail from people that are, like I said in Ottawa, probably Shabbat plus is going to cost you. You don't have to give up Shabbat, but if you don't give up Shabbat, then it's going to be not going to be, it's like Stutzla. I mean, I'm just looking if I'm Arizona. If I'm Arizona, I got a Norris level 23-year-old defenseman with 3 years of $5 million cap hit. I'm getting a top line center. I'm getting a huge package of players. Huge. Yeah, Canes. There's another one. Hurricanes. They're playing Detroit, right? Fortunately for them, Detroit's got a couple guys out too, but they might have a fighting chance there. But if they were playing against a Colorado or something like that, they'd get torn apart tonight. And they still got. I mean, those guys are going to be out for a bit, I would have to imagine. So, what do they got? What do they got after this? Are they fortunate enough to get a break a little bit? Because they've been playing a lot of hockey. Stream is so slow. Oh, no. They got LA and Nashville after this. So, LA is going to be a tough out. Oh, man. It's tough out there right now. It's freaking tough. If somebody, I'd be asking for Stutzla out of Ottawa. There's a start. You got your big center. Uh, yeah, I mean, draft picks would be for sure. Ottawa's first next year. If you're not going to give Stutzla, then the first, I want the 2023 first from Ottawa. Well, the thing is if you give them Chychrun, they may be good enough that that first doesn't even make much of a difference. Like, that's how much he can affect a team. He's that good. So, especially if you don't get Shabbat in return. But if it's this year's first, I'm not as big on Wright, but I'd want that. And Norris. It's gonna take a package, a good package. Sanderson would be in the conversation, and I know they don't want to give him up. He's got 14 points in 12 games. They may think that Sanderson's as good as Chychrun. I'm not so sure about that, but Brendan Manel. Okay, well, hopefully they don't have to use him. Yeah, I just did a video on 6 teams that he could get traded to. When you watch the video, Hajin, LA is not in it, but I'm going to be doing another one. I'll be doing, like, every team is going to be in. Every team is going to be in for Shabbat. For Chychrun. I don't think there's one team in the NHL that won't pick up the phone and see what they can do. Right? I know. Stahl, look at all those guys. Aho, Jarvis, Svechnikov, Stahl. I mean, they should shut down. That's not right. That's not right. That's way too much of a team of a team's team to keep on playing like that. But I think the NHL is just going dead set to make sure they have this season, and it's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, I imagine he is, but like I said, the general managers are going to be general managers are probably going to be pretty upset with the ask. I could definitely see LA, and he's exactly what LA needs too. But it's going to cost a pretty penny, man. It's going to hurt. Hajin, you're not the asking price is gonna hurt a lot, for sure. I mean, I'm just going from if I'm in Arizona, man, I don't need to trade him at any particular time. So I know he's probably asked to be traded, but I don't need to be trade him. And I've got every single general manager calling me on this guy. So my asking price can be pretty extreme. You watched the video? Oh, cool. Right on. I wouldn't doubt. I thought about that, Bill, about Krejci coming back. I thought about. I thought that would still be out there. I think Krejci just pretty much made some sense that he would take some time with his family, and then go on a playoff run. I think he could get up to speed well enough. And, it could have been even a discussion for cap space to do it on purpose. It could be. You don't know what hey, David, why don't you just stay home with your family? Once it gets around the trade deadline, keep yourself in top condition. Even 75% of Krejci would be all right. That's a very good point, Hajin. Blake sees himself in Chychrun. Absolutely. There's a lot of Chychrun and Rob Blake. Absolutely. Like, there's a good example. Hajin just brought I don't know if people realize how good people don't talk about Blake when you're talking about some of the greatest defensemen of all time. And it's unfortunate. I think Chychrun might have more offense than Blake ever did. But, yeah, absolutely. He is a stud defenseman that you win cups with, just like Blake. No doubt about it. big, strong, offensive D-men. How often did they come around? 23 years old yet. They don't. I don't know if it'll be that early, Lauren, but I mean, if you're going to build a dynasty, this is a time to do it. The next 3 years, just grab as many firsts as you possibly can, and that's the way to do it. And then you keep to the cap floor, and then slowly fill holes as you go. That's what Stevie Y's doing in Detroit, right? Yeah, yeah. I think Armstrong. I mean, look at he's got how many firsts does he already have next year? Isn't it like 3 already? I think he's got 3 firsts already next year. Yeah, 3 first rounders. 2 of them are like can if the Avalanche pick is top 10 in 2022, the Coyotes will see 23 first round picks. So they got the Avalanches, which won't be a top 10. And then they got Montreal's. If the better of Montreal, Carolina's first round pick, but if either or both are top 10 picks, then Montreal will instead transfer Arizona the worst of Montreal, Carolina's 2022 first round pick. That was a weird one. So more than likely they're going to get Carolina's first, Colorado's first, which are late firsts, and then 4 second round picks, like just prospect after prospect after prospect coming out there. They will be building a dynasty. I agree. Louis Eriksson scored last night. Yeah, I know. I don't think they're going to be moved, dude. I think they're going to stay, and I want to see them succeed at Arizona. We need that so bad. I mean, people said the same thing about the Kings, man. People said the same thing about LA. They'll never succeed there and all that stuff like that. Look at them now. Look at Dallas. We got most of the cup winners have their goaltenders drafted by the team. Yeah, I don't know. Let me think about that. Chicago drafted Crawford, right? LA drafted, yeah. Pittsburgh drafted Fleury. It makes sense because you build a defensive system around the goaltender. Yeah. Read the link. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it just says it's slightly ajar, but I wouldn't be surprised if he decided to. No, he's saying that they didn't draft their goaltender, Carolina. Tampa Bay drafted Vasilevsky. Uh, LaFontaine eventually. Yeah, we'll see how he is. He looks like he's pretty darn good. Yeah. They will. Yeah. I don't know. Like I think the Hurricanes could definitely buck that trend. They got a system that just makes goaltenders look fantastic, and I think Anderson is good enough to do it. Uh, but I see what you mean. Like also the Islanders, now that they have Sorokin, they would fall into that if they were going to win it. Um, who else is Florida drafted? It would be Spencer Knight, not giving tons of money to Bobrovsky like the way they did it. Who got sent down, by the way? Spencer Knight got sent down to the minors for a while to continue his growth there. So anyways, let's talk. Maybe some more guys will come up as we talk about the games yesterday. There was only a couple anyways, right? Blackhawks, Capitals, and I didn't remember. I wasn't really big on the Capitals after they lost Kuzi. What the heck? There we go. And Chicago, I'll tell you, they're putting up a fight out there. They're putting up a fight. They did get outshot 46-28. Fleury was outstanding. No, as far Allmark has been confirmed, I believe. I believe Allmark has been confirmed for that game. Allmark. Yeah, Allmark has been confirmed for the Island, for Boston tonight. So, yeah, I mean, Washington did outshoot them a lot. Ovechkin got his 21st goal. Man, this guy just never stops. Then, but Jabrinka came back and potted one, then Philip Kurashev. Samsonov is looking, the guy is so aggravated. Sometimes Samsonov can look like he's the best goaltender in the league, but he just can't do it consistently enough. Mackenzie Entwistle potted one after coming up from the minors. And Lars Eller, Oshie, and Sheary, DeBrincat potted 2 last night. It just went back and forth, back and forth. Connor Sheary scored with 4 seconds left. And then Jones, and not the Seth version, but the Caleb version, pots the OT winner, which really ticked off my clients because I did end up putting Washington in ML for a little bit. I think he might be the greatest goal. I think he's the greatest goal scorer ever. Yeah, if Allmark gets hurt or something, maybe, yeah. But Washington's still doing a lot with a lot of like really young guys. That Protus kid only got 8 minutes last night. Malenstein 11. They're starting to take down their minutes now, and they're playing a lot of guys. Backstrom played 18 minutes last night and had 5 shots on goal. Honestly, though, when I watched it, I never really saw him all that much in the game. Maybe it was just me, but, and I mean, it's going to take him a couple games to get his timing down and all that. Well, really, to me, what came down to is Fleury just totally outshined Samsonov last night. There was, that's really what it came down to me. Fleury was absolutely unbelievable. If they would have not had all that stuff happen earlier, I think Chicago probably would have been a lot better spot. And but I had them. I thought they were going to be pretty good this year, but I was wrong. And you never know. They're winning now. They're starting to put up a pretty good winning record. The Rangers versus the Coyotes, and the Rangers certainly made a circus of this game. They should have absolutely slaughtered Arizona last night. This young team that just seems to take teams lightly. Panarin got injured last night as well, so we'll see if he's back. But they have way more skill. All you got to do in Arizona is outwork them. That's all you have to do. If you didn't come to work, Arizona is going to give you a good run for your money. Fortunately, they had enough skill to be able to come back in the third period. And that's really what teams do. They outskill Arizona. But they almost lost it. They almost got outworked. Zibanejad potted his sixth from Fox and Kreider, and of course Capo Caco starting to put it together a little bit with his fifth, with a couple minutes left in the third to put it away. But they certainly made it much more difficult on themselves than it should have been. Who's not back? I mean, Bergeron and Marchand are out. There's a lot of guys out for Boston. That game's really weird. I don't know what to do with that game. The Islanders are playing like poop. Boston has nobody in their lineup. Throw it up. That seems like a coin toss game there. Well, that one time when I guess he was the extra goalie, but when the Zamboni driver went in, was that about as close as I can remember? I maybe there was another one, but so yeah, Charlie Coyle is going to be the #1 center for Boston today with Hall and David Pastrnak, and then Haula as a left winger with Noshik and Foligno. That is not a line that's going to do too much creating there. And DeBrusk still doesn't get in the top six. He's playing with Jack Studnicka, I think is how you say it, and Oscar Steen. Jesper Froden gets his NHL debut. There'll be a lot of NHL debuts here. How old is he? He's 27. They signed him to 5'10". I don't even know who this guy is. Managed 13 points in 21 games in the AHL. Not a very big dude. Just 5'10", 180 pounds. And they're giving him a shot with Lazar and Carson Kuhlman. So the good thing is their defense is intact. Forbert, McAvoy, Grizzly, Carlo, Riley, and Clifton. And Linus Ullmark has been playing really well. But no Trent Frederick, no Anton Bleed. No, which isn't that big of a loss. Bergeron, Marchand, and Craig Smith are all out, and Jeremy Swayman as well. Ayers, yeah. Yeah, they're all out. Gosh Spear played 25 minutes last night. And then Yuri Moser, brand new, he played his first game. Didn't look too bad, but I mean, overall, the team plays well as a team, but there's just not enough skill on that Arizona team to swerve. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Hey, boy. And then finally, the Ducks. I went to bed before this game started, so I didn't watch it. Apparently, Trevor Zegras did another sweet move last night. Stolars has won 6 in a row. 6 games in a row for Stolars. Nice late blooming guy, fun to see. Big, the guy's enormous. 6'6", 230 pounds. You don't see defensemen usually that big that can move like he does. No, I don't think they forfeit. They might have to play without a goalie, an empty net. That'd be something. Have you ever saw the way teams play against them with an empty net? Like it's almost like a goaltender's in there. Wild by 3. Don't count the Sabres out, but I don't know. Are they putting that kid in again? Are they going to keep on riding that Luukkonen kid? Yep, they are. I don't know. Luukkonen's been playing pretty well, dude. I don't know if it'll be by 3, but I got him in reg. I would have rather seen somebody else. I was on the Oilers today until they put Skinner in. Now forget about it. I suppose you have no choice but to look towards the over there. I don't know. I don't trust the Oilers anyway. Yeah, that's right. No, well, that's a Minnesota fan for you. I don't know. JP Luukkonen has played well. It's possible that they could have a blowout here, but that Luukkonen kid has looked good. So he's got a 1.99 and a .939 in 5 games. That's not too shabby. I do have a feeling that teams are starting to get some tape on the guy, though, so they might be able to find some holes. JP Luukkonen has been their future number 1 for. They've been training, like bringing up for quite a while. He's 22 years old, but kind of like Lankinen last year in Chicago. When you bring up goaltenders that have skill like this, like teams have never played them before, so it takes them a while to find their holes. Then you got to see what they're like after that. Like Lankinen this year isn't what he was last year because they have a read on him. Players have a read on him. So I don't know. Maybe they got more of a read on Luukkonen now. I just think that you're probably right. The offense for the Wild should make that Buffalo defense look like Swiss cheese a little bit if they're playing their way. Smith is not in net though. Stuart Skinner is in net. When he comes in, is that what you're talking about? Maybe, yeah. What was it? So Zegras from Milano again. Man, that combination is just humming. Derek Grant potted one last night. Troy Terry got a little cold, and now he potted another one last night. Ryan Donato is on fire for Seattle. He's potting one on a regular basis right now. And then finally Sam Carrick got one in the 4th, but I didn't see the game. I don't know if you guys did it, but it looks like they pretty much dominated them. Shot-wise, not so much. But Grubauer, man. Grubauer, $6 million a year. It's not looking too good, man. Not looking too good. Boston should rebuild already. Yeah. It's tough. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because, Bergeron is still a number 1 center. You got Marchand and Pass. Like, you got that top line. You got to think you'd still be able to build a team around those guys for a little bit longer. It's so hard to go into a rebuild. First of all, you got to tell your sponsors, hey, we're going to sell these guys off. The sponsors are ticked. Probably like, oh, I'm not paying you all that if you're going to get rid of everybody and do a rebuild. There's a lot of things that go in with that. But on the same note, they had a chance to never have to rebuild with the 2015 draft, and now they probably have no choice here soon. probably eventually. I would say you're probably right now, unless they can add more to that depth. At the maybe this year they can make some deadline deals and go for a run. But after that, I think they probably should. Yeah. Yeah, it does suck for them losing Hintz. I have a feeling whatever's going on with Hintz has been going on with him all year. Because even when he started the year, he didn't play all that great. Mantha, yeah. Mantha's always been soft as butter. Oh, yeah, I don't know why. Which website do you go for your goaltender confirmations? They put Smith up there, like Smith is coming back for some reason. Like there's no reason to believe he's coming back yet. You can't see what they can give up to add a top 4D. Boston? Yeah, it would be tough. I'm sure if Chychrun's available, Boston will be on the phone, but I don't think they got enough. They don't have anywhere near enough to compete with the teams that'll be looking for it. Left wing lock, me too. Yeah, and they always have Smith there, but I know Smith isn't going to be in. So I don't know why they just keep on placing Smith. Yeah, Bruins, I don't see it either. I mean, DeBrusque, their first next year, what's going to get them a top 4 with what they got? I mean, their first next year, do they even have it? Do they have their first next year? Yes. They have the first in 2022 and 2023. DeBrusque, if anybody wants him, I don't know. I don't know how much value he has right now. I don't know what the problem there is in Boston. They pretty much killed his because now everybody's like, what's going on with him? Why? Like, why? You know, and they don't know, so they don't want to take a chance because they don't know why. Boston's not telling anybody. Lysell first, yeah, like give up. Is that wise? Because that's just going to make the rebuild even hurt more. Yeah, you don't want to give up another defenseman because you need the defenseman. And not many of their prospects have a lot of value. So it's pretty tough. I don't think a first is going to do it. Not what they need, like a solid top 4. I don't think so. Maybe Sherratt. They might be able to get Sherratt if multiple first rounders. Yeah. Who would even be available that they could get? Arho Vakanainen, like John Beecher is another one. What's he doing now? Is he in the AHL now? No. John Beecher, everybody talks about. He only has 4 points in 12 games. That's going to be your guy? That's going to be the guy? And he's a forward. So why is everybody talking about John Beecher like he's something special? He's not. They don't really have anything to give up. For D prospects, I don't know what Mason Lore. That was like last year. But nobody's on the horizon that I see that's going to really like have people clamoring to give up a top 4 defenseman. I agree. Like they're in trouble. Probably. That's about right. Hurdle and Gerard or something like that. If they're going to compete with Carolina and stuff like that, yeah, absolutely. Unless a goaltender just gets absolutely on fire, I can't see them having a chance. What's not true, Weichel? I mean, they got McAvoy and Carla. Like, yeah, there's not enough depth. There's just no way Boston's going to be able to do it. I don't have them. I had them possibly missing the playoffs this year, so it's not really a surprise to me. But what the heck is that noise? Hey, Mercer, how you doing? All right, well, let's. We got any more news that popped up here? Wait, Whitechell, there's no more news. No more people going on COVID or something. No, Florida. That's. Oh wait, what do we got? Anders Boardman on conditionals. Lawson Krause. No, no more news. Okay, let's look at today's. I gotta change the title too. I gotta change the title because everybody's gonna think we're still talking about chicken trades. Knight got sent down. Yeah, yeah. He's young, man. It just goes to show you, like, you can have all the talent in the world, but it takes a while for a goalie to be able to deal with the NHL every single day. Vancouver Canucks have won 5 straight games, yeah, since the coaching change. Yeah, I mean, Gaudreau, when they hired him, I love that Gaudreau. I liked that move because he was going to change the energy of that team. Something that Green just couldn't seem to just bring fun to that dressing room is what was needed. And you couldn't get a better guy to do that than Boudreau. I really thought it was an excellent move. As they go on, Boudreau will change it a little bit. It won't be all fun and games and puppies and lollipops there. But and now they got since you brought it up, we might as well talk about that game tonight. I'm looking to Vancouver tonight. We'll talk about it real quick because it's not really the first game, but the Sharks just lost to Seattle. They had a lot of good energy coming in early, but you thought Florida probably would have been a good idea, I think too. But yeah, it's and what they did do with Odette looks like it's not working. So you might have a really good point there. But I think you got to look at Vancouver again tonight against the Sharks, coming off a loss against Seattle. I believe the Sharks have been on the road for a while. Is this their first game back from a road trip? Oh no, they played against Seattle at home. They lost to Seattle at home and didn't look good doing it. And now you got a Vancouver team that's just on a roll. Like first game of a road. Oh, they're just playing they're going to San Jose and then coming back home to play Toronto. That's a little weird, but shouldn't be a problem. I don't know. I don't like those spots. You got your home. You got to go to San Jose from Vancouver, play one game on the road, and then come home and play Toronto. Weird spot. Weird spot. But I think their energy could be so dialed in right now that it might not matter. Either I take Vancouver there or I leave the game out, leave the game alone. The other problem, of course, is this is going to be a huge win because don't they have a lot of guys out too? Although I hear OEL is probably back. Yeah. Ekman Larson is back. So Quinn Hughes, Tyler Myers, they got to use Gwillem Breezeball? Why? Oh, Hamonic is out. Oh, and Tucker Pullman is out. Could be a little dicey on the defensive things. Noah Juleson doesn't have all that much experience. Burrows. But the energy they're playing with right now just might pull them through no matter what. And Demko should be in net. So I'm going to lean Vancouver there. I just think they're going to keep that energy flowing and go. What do you guys think? You guys, what are you guys leaning? San Jose or Vancouver? Don't forget to tap that like button, everybody. Let's get those likes up into double digits. Kenny R., you like the Canucks? Thanks for coming in, Kenny R., by the way. A little Pearlo dance for you. You think the bubble burst with San Jose? Could be. I think the bubble burst might happen in Toronto. I might happen against Toronto, though. They got to make it first. We'll see what happens when this energy wears off, what they can be. Yeah. We'll see what happens with when this energy wears off. What they can be. I'm not sure. It's on paper they're not good enough to get past the first round, I don't think. But Demko is one of those goaltenders that can get you anywhere. By the way, I should say this before I get in trouble because I don't have my tie on today. Manscaped. I got the Manscaped shirt on. You got that in the corner. Check it out. Promo code Pearlo Dance. Get yourself some killer deals there at Manscaped. Helps us. Think about it for Christmas, guys. Send it out to some people. It gets us a sponsor and gets me to be able to do this show, and it's a great place. It's a great. Manscaped is simply awesome. I agree. There you go. That's what they should do their. That's what they should do with their slogan. Simply awesome. When you are, I have more hair than I have skin, so I am not kidding when I say I like this product. I am not kidding at all. Yes, I have more hair than I have skin. So when I say I like this product, I mean it. I really do. I didn't Before this, I had like other, like this is like other level stuff. I didn't even know that it was there, that it existed. It's pretty cool. Ekblad on IR too? Oh no. Yeah, Florida's done tonight. You got legs on you like a grizzly bear? Oh shoot. Yeah. It's my back, dude. My back. It's just chest hair and back hair. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, Ekblad on IR. Let's go look at the more games here. That's like I can't. If Ekblad's on the IR, two. Flyers, Canadians. Flyers are going to win that game. I don't. Can you find a spot where the Canadians win a game? The Flyers are coming off. What is this, 3 in a row now? They got Yo in there. I don't see them playing down to the Canadians here at all. They need every single game. I'm pretty sure they're starting Carter Hart. They want to keep this good feelings going. Get on a good run, and then Caden Primo's in for Montreal, who really has never been able to put it together in the NHL. So this one could even get ugly, I think. Yeah, well, yeah, they're tanking. The Dvorak is out now. Like, look at the lineup that they're putting out there. It is really ugly. It's almost Arizona-like. It's maybe not quite, but close. Suzuki, Matthew Perreault, and Hoffman. Drouin, Laurent Dauphin, and Jesse Alonen. Lehkonen, Paline, Caulfield, who is cold as ice right now, Caulfield. Paline's actually been playing a lot better than I thought he would. Lehkonen's on the trade. I'm hearing lots about Lehkonen getting traded. And then Pezzetta, Cedric Paquette, and Joel Armia. Sherrod and David Savard. David Savard comes in tonight, but I mean, he's been absolute garbage too this year. Alexander Romanov, Petrie, Kulak, and Clegg. Like nothing, there's nothing in that lineup that says that team's going to win. And then Allen in net, who has been, I mean, their defense has been terrible too, but he's been terrible. Like everything's been terrible at Montreal. Philadelphia wins that all day long. AHL quality team, yeah. I think the Flyers will come back. They're going to be, that's the thing. The Flyers will come back, be middle of the pack, and get a middle of the pack. That's the problem. Chuck Fletcher showed in Minnesota he builds middle of the pack teams. They're doing it again in Philly. But Yo might get him going there. I mean, Yo did it twice now. There's no reason why you can say that he can't do it. He's already done it twice. So New Jersey tonight against the Knights? What in the world makes you think that? Because they got slaughtered last game? I don't think New Jersey's got a chance against Vegas. To win the lottery, next year. Philadelphia should have tanked till next year. But I don't know if you can tank any harder than Arizona. You might not have a chance. If you got Michkov or Bedard, now you're talking. That's game-changing stuff right there. If anybody really, but if Philadelphia got that, Couturier's your second-line center. You got a guy that's at least as good as McKinnon. Now we're talking about a cup possible team here. I think Coyotes get them. I mean, they would. I think it's they're going to be the worst in the league. So Montreal are the Coyotes, I guess, because the way they have it now, I think only one of the top three can get them, right? So, and they've got it so even if you're the third one, that it's a lot more difficult. So it almost, I don't like what they did. I like what they had before, because now more teams are going to tank. I don't see why they think teams are not going to tank now. I think teams are going to, because if you're getting a top two pick, like next year, all you got to do is be like in the three worst teams in the league, and you have a very, very, very good chance of getting a franchise player. So teams are going to tank like crazy. Arizona might be worse next year than they were this year. Just keep Erickson, get a whole bunch of guys that can play. Like, they're almost too good yet. Yeah. Digs more holes for Arena than a Gopher clan. Yeah. I don't know if it's a failed experiment. The NHL needs that market. Period. Period. The NHL needs that market. I want that market to work too. If you can get the Arizona market, you're on your way. You're starting to get on your way to being somewhere near competitive with football and basketball and stuff like that. And baseball. If you can get the Arizona market, it's just essential to get those non-traditional markets. You think it should be that much? Really, Mercer? I know. I like the way they had it before. Stevie Yzerman complained about it, but I mean, he's just doing what's best for his team. I would have been like, too bad, Stevie. You got bad luck. That's the way it is. Don't tank. Make your team better. Shut up. That's the whole point. Make your team better. The problem is I think that the reason why they changed it is because of the expansion team right now. That Seattle franchise could be screwed if they can't get those top picks. And to save Arizona, too. Arizona could be absolutely screwed. I wouldn't doubt that that's certainly part of it. Now, the problem is you already got a market in Dallas that's drawing a fan base. Now, you do make a point, though. Vegas really can take that market as well. So, but I mean, if you can have two in that area, then I think you're setting a pretty strong base. That's huge. If you can get two in that desert area there, I think you can claim that the NHL has succeeded quite a bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, they absolutely need to get top draft picks there in Arizona. I mean, if you were to do it that way, John, there's no tanking at all. Who's going to tank? No one's going to tank for sure, and that's supposed to be why they were doing it. So the Leafs can only have 200 fans. Yeah. In Toronto and Ottawa and all those areas like that, they're going to take precautions right through the nose because that's super liberal there. They're going to do that. What's next? Senators versus Lightning, and I'm actually on the fence about this one. I didn't follow my gut about the Senators before on Florida or on Tampa Bay the last time they played. But they do have Cirelli back Tampa Bay this time. And they have it fresh in their minds what they got to do against Ottawa to win. And that's just work your bag off. Like, is Tampa Bay not the Tampa Bay has to be the worst regular season championship team like ever. How many times did they play down to their competition? But that being said, they're going to have Colton Ross with Stamkos and Palat. Killorn with Cirelli and Joseph. Not bad, but not like blow your mind. Then the Maroon, Bellemore, and Perry line, which does play well together. And Boris Tkachuk, Radish goes back down to the fourth line with Riley Nash. Vasilevsky will be in net. Now that, all of that being said, they should beat Ottawa. But Ottawa is going to play their butts off. That team is just playing hard hockey. If you come in soft at all, Ottawa is going to absolutely, I don't know. They got the manpower to do it. If they're going to come in Ottawa, they better be going in Ottawa and playing highly aggressive offensive game and keeping them in the offensive zone. Because Ottawa's going to start punching. Like, they play super tough. A super tough brand of hockey. Super aggressive. Don't give up on any puck. And Tampa doesn't. So I'm honestly off this game. Until I see Tampa actually play, like they should beat Ottawa. They should beat Ottawa for sure. He's really young, man. It's starting to get a little bit worrisome, though. It is. Laffy is starting to get a little bit worrisome. Oh yeah. Yeah, Seattle loves their team. That's why they didn't have to do what Vegas did. That's why they didn't have to do what Vegas did. They didn't have to build up a fan base by going out and getting as many veterans as they can that are, win a cup within the first 4 years like they tried to do, and then do a rebuild like that. They can build a dynasty right now. No Leafs game tonight? Oh, wow. Uh-oh. If there's no Leafs game tonight, that changes things a lot. How come that's not on Pro Hockey Rumors yet? What are you talking about? No Leafs game tonight. 10 hours ago, it says Leafs back to 50% per game. Where did you get this from? Oh, was it Toronto? Okay, that's right. Okay, I forgot it. They were playing Toronto. It was supposed to be, okay. You scared me there for a second. They were playing Toronto tonight. My brain didn't. Yeah, it's Toronto and Calgary, right? Whew! That would have been huge if it was something other than that. going to Montreal has you worried for Philly? I don't see a letdown game there, dude. I just don't see it. They need points too bad. Yo is a rah guy. He's gonna have them wanting to crush them. I think. Bubble wrap, fake crowd, pumped in sound game. Maybe. Okay, so yeah, that's right. There is no Leafs game tonight. You scared me there for some reason. I forgot that they were playing Calgary. Okay, what do we got next? Yeah, Lightning, Ottawa, Panthers, Kings. The Panthers have nobody. I mean, that lineup looks terrible now. It would be huge for the Panthers to win this game, but they're playing against an LA team that is playing at the top of their game right now. Like it's a bad time to lose half your players to COVID. Huberdeau, Lundell. I mean, Lundell's just a kid, 20-year-old kid. He's going to be number one. And then on the opposite end of it, old man Thornton playing with Vetrano and Duclair on the second line. And then Gregory Denisenko, who hasn't even played well in the AHL with Luosterainen and Tippett. And then Cole Schwint. I have never heard of it. I don't even know what a Cole Schwint is. What's a Cole Schwint? 17 points in 25 games. He is 20 years old, was third overall in 2019. He's from Kitchener, Ontario. Good for him to get a shot. He's been putting up some pretty good numbers. Maybe he'll have a killer game. I don't know. Not bad in the AHL. Third round pick. Could be worse. Could be worse players, but killer he gets to have his first game. But look at the defense. Uyghur Ekblad's in. Ekblad looks like he's in. But you Levy and Lucas Carlson and then Kierstad and Prisky. And Bobrovsky hasn't really looked like he's going back to his old self a little bit. I'm sorry, I got to go with LA there. Probably not. But I think he's doing a pretty good job now, though. Yeah, yeah, I agree. They should have won that game. Vegas should have had that game for sure. No doubt about it. Jonathan Huberdeau is out? I didn't hear that. Then they're really done. Like, they got to cancel that game, I think. That's even worse than Carolina. Drew Doughty is placed on COVID protocol, though. So that'll help him out a bit. You just keep on updating to see who's on COVID protocol over and over and over again. But anyways, I still got to go with LA, even with Doughty. Florida has nobody. If Huberdeau is out, forget about it. There's no way they're winning that game. Not very likely they're winning that game, for sure, if Huberdeau is out. I don't know where they got that Huberdeau is out. I don't see it, but John Weichel, I don't know where he gets his. He keeps it a secret. The guy's like an insider. I don't know. I don't know if he's got freaking Bettman calling him on the phone every 5 minutes or what, but he comes up with it all the time. It's crazy. Yeah, Hyman's out tonight. And that team doesn't look the same without him either. That's a really big loss for the Oilers, for sure. Next game, Knights and Panthers. And who was saying they got or Knights and Devils? Who was saying they got the Devils tonight? Why? Can you explain to me what it is? Just because Brissois is in? Brissois is probably better than Lehner right now. I gotta go. The Devils have been the only reason why I would say the Devils here is they got destroyed last game. So you got that comeback game after getting. They'll probably put in a lot better effort than they did last game, but we're talking about the Golden Knights here. The Golden Knights play the same kind of game as the Devils, but they're way better at it and have a lot more veterans to do it with. They don't have anybody out at all. I think the Devils have a few people out still. Andreas Johnson, Mercer, Tatar. No, they don't have too many people out. Just Wood and Tice Thompson and Bernier. Blackwood got lit up last game. And they're putting him back in again. I thought there was more. Oh yeah, they got Nico Hischier Graves is out, right? Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking, but they're thinking that Vegas is going to lose that game. The hockey guy says Jonathan Huberdeau. Is the hockey guy getting calls from Bettman now? No, Weichel's awesome, man. He's a gem for this channel. He comes up with the news like boom. He's awesome at it. You should. Just wait a sec, guys. I'm gonna grab a coffee. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Devon Shore. That doesn't make much of a difference. How Shannon does not have some job. He's getting close to the NHL a little bit because what's that Toronto guy? The YouTuber, he's paid by the NHL now. Toronto Maple Leafs guy. He had him on there a little while ago, but he may not want to be connected with the NHL. he probably just wants to have the freedom to do what he wants to do and all that kind of stuff like that. But the guy works so many hours. I just can't. Steve Dangle, that's right. Yeah. So they did have him on, and so so that was pretty cool. Steve Dangle had him on. What do we got next? Again, the Red Wings and Hurricanes, and it would be awesome if the Hurricanes win this game, but I wouldn't. I mean, nothing would surprise me coming from the Canes, but it's going to be an uphill battle. Basically, all new lines. Guys playing first with players for the first time they played with them. Niederreiter, Trocheck, and Nietzsche as the top line isn't bad, actually. That's pretty good, considering you're losing as many as you have, and you still got Teravainen, Kokoniemi, and Fast as your second line. But Pacioretty, you're going to be playing three lines, and, Jack Drury and is that Pacioretty? Pacioretty? How do you say that? Have never played in the NHL, and they're going to have to play tons of minutes. So Anthony D'Angelo is in tonight? I thought he was out too. It says on Cap Friendly that he's in. And then that's one saving grace, is they got Pesce, Shea, D'Angelo, Slavin. That top four could save them. Could save them against Detroit. With Anderson in too. They could win a low-scoring game tonight. They could. Detroit's going to have a really tough time penetrating that defense, and they've got their own problems. They've got they got the top line, but then who else do they have out? Fabry and Rasmussen is out. So they got some AHL guys playing in Kurskulo. I think that's not his first game. Chris Skulo or something like that. I remember him playing one time. And Carter Rowney's playing up. Svechnikov and Valino are the second. They could do it. Carolina could do it. They still got a better defense than Detroit. And yeah, they could do it. Yeah, Smith draws in. I mean, as long as you got Pesce, Slavin, D'Angelo, and those guys, you got a good chance at least to keep the score low. Jordan Stahl's not playing. Yeah, they're missing a lot. Going to be a tough one for them, but I don't think it's impossible though. Against Detroit. Now, when they got to play their future games, it gets a little tougher. Play in LA and stuff like that, but tonight they could do it. I probably would just fade it. It feels like a tie. If there was ever a time to take a draw, this would probably be it. Quick will be in net. He's been playing very well. I think both teams might be happy with the tie here. Cole out now? Cole is the only one out. Yeah, he just said that. Cole is the only one out. So their defense is intact, that helps out a lot. Next. Bruins and Islanders. And Bruins, no Marchand, again, toss her up there. No Barzal for the Islanders. No Marchand, no Bergeron for the Bruins. Is there more that I'm not aware of with that? Who's starting? It's probably going to be Sorokin. Sorokin versus Allmark. Allmark has been playing fantastic. Oh, no, it wasn't LA. It's against Detroit, right? It feels like a tie maybe in Detroit. Allmark, and I imagine it'll be Ilya Sorokin, who's been putting up some pretty decent numbers. Again, this feels like a tie. The Islanders should win this game at home against a team that doesn't have their number one center and their number one winger, but they've been playing so poopty, I can't really rely on that. Like the number one line for Boston is going to be Hull. I think we already talked about that, right? Hull, Coyle, and Pasta. Semyon's in net. Well, that just evens it out again. Semyon hasn't played all that well. I mean, toss it in a blender and just pick a team, I guess. Like, really, I don't know who's going to win that game. No Barzal for the Islanders. All I know is there probably isn't going to be much scoring, I would think. Anders Lee, Pajot, and Palmieri is the top line. Then Beauvillier, Nelson, and Bailey, who's done virtually nothing all year. Parise, Charnock, and Wallstrom. Why are they not playing Wallstrom up on the top line? For the life of me, I can't figure that out. Martin, Cizikas, and Clutterbuck, of course, is the fourth line. Pellich is no Pulak, which they've been playing without for a while. I don't know. What do you guys think? Boston and the Islanders. Take the Islanders at home, I guess. Or maybe not. Maybe Allmark is so hot, you go with Boston. Because Allmark is playing really hot. And if they're putting Varlamov in, just go with the better goaltender. Go with the better goaltender and maybe Boston tonight. Varlamov confused. Yeah, I'd say maybe go with the better goaltender and go with Boston, I guess. It's a toss-up game with all those people out. It could be anything. It could be anything. Oh, I like more than 2 games today. But this one here, I do got something on this one here. But it's the total. You can't trust the Islanders, that's the thing. I especially if they're putting Varlamov in. Like Varlamov has not been super strong this year, so I'll probably go Boston, I guess, but it's a really tough game. Avalanche versus the Predators, and the Predators are another team that are without a lot. I would have to think the Avalanche win this game. But the big thing with this game with them is that the Predators are playing hard. They're playing like the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like the next man up is huge in Nashville right now, and they're finding ways. But against a Colorado team, Colton Sissons is going to play on the first line, and because is it Duchesne? Duchesne is out. Is Duchesne out? It looks like Duchesne is out. Where the heck is he, though? Cousins is out. Granlund is out. Johansson is out. And I don't see Duchesne, and I don't know why. Oh, Matt Duchesne is a scratch. Is injured day to day. Wow. You got to go with Colorado. I mean, it only makes sense. If Philip Myers, by the way, has been a healthy scratch in Nashville for games now. Nobody's talking about that. Does anybody have a clue what the heck that's all about? He's been a healthy scratch in Nashville for a while now. No, I didn't see the tribute. Brown out for the Kings too? Oh my gosh. That game is starting to get weird now as well. Now you don't know who to take. My gosh. I still say LA. They're just playing too hot right now. But you know what? What if those guys got it because they're in Florida? So Brown is out. Doughty is out. My gosh, this is getting crazy. I can't see the Avalanche not winning that game. They're almost fully healthy. I believe they're putting Kemper in net. Oh, it doesn't say. I think I'm pretty sure they'll put Kemper. They don't really have anybody else to put in. They got to get a backup in Colorado. Oh, Francouz. I wonder if he's ready now. It'll be Aiden Hill against Demko tonight in Vancouver. That just got updated. Yeah, Colorado over Nashville, right? Anybody disagree? Let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Oh, cool. I did not know that. That's pretty awesome. That's what's great about Fleury, right? Every team that he's played for in his career. So that would be Pittsburgh, Vegas, and Chicago. So he's celebrating all the. What a great guy. Freaking killer. No animosity towards the fact that the Pittsburgh Penguins dumped him off to somebody else for this young kid Murray who turned out to be it turned out to be a very bad move. Pittsburgh might have had another cup in him if they would have kept Fleury. Kopitar might not play. Well, I don't know what to do with that. Like, you can't even put picks in right now because from 1 minute to another, you don't know who's going to be in and who's not going to be in. Yeah, you don't know who's going to be in and who's not going to be in 1 minute to the other there. I'll check it out. Yeah, no problem, for sure. Colorado all day, anyways. There you go. You got a pick out of me. Colorado all day. Sabres versus Wild, and if you remember, I faded that, and I shouldn't have. I had a feeling about the Sabres against Winnipeg, but I don't have that same feeling against the Wild. This Luukkonen kid is looking good, but they've got enough time to get some video on him, and I think the Wild will pick that apart. They haven't played in a while. I think it's been a couple games, and it's been like, has it been 4 days since they played? Where is it? I know it's been at least 3. One, two, 3. That would be maybe a little bit of a cause for concern. They could be a little bit. Yeah, well, I don't think 4 days off is a good thing. That would be a bad thing. But I still think they win. They may not come out strong, and maybe a little bit of a sloppy first, but once they get going, I think they should be able to take Buffalo pretty well. This Buffalo team won't give up though, man. But the thing is, the Wild generally don't either. So the Wild generally don't play down to their competition at all, and they're very well prepared for games. So I would be very surprised if Buffalo took this one. Damn it. So like you look at Buffalo's roster tonight: Skinner, Thompson, Olofsson, that Murray, Cousins, Okposo. They have been all of those guys have been playing fairly well, but up against the Minnesota roster, like there's a couple guys with some speed there, but for the most part, Minnesota should be able to outspeed these guys in this game tonight. Their defense hasn't been bad, and Laukkanen has looked good so far. He's been 1-2, but a 1.99 and a .939. I just think Minnesota overall, it'd be. I mean, Buffalo could win it, I suppose, but it's not what I did. Let's put it that way, Daryl Turner. But I'm not sure now because I don't know if you know Daryl Turner. Welcome to the welcome in, by the way. The Panthers have nobody on their roster, and the Kings are getting less and less on their roster too. So, what do I think right now? I was kind of leaning. I was going Kings way, but now I think it's kind of a coin toss game. Could if you wanted to. Vegas and Wild. I can't tell you everything, dude. If you want to know, you know where you got to go. These are paid picks, dude. I can't tell you everything, buddy. I give you a little bit of hint here and there, but that's about all I can do. You just found out about these issues. That's why you come on here. I'll tell you all the issues. I'll tell you all the issues. When I'm doing, you should have been in earlier, Elliot. I said who I had for those picks. I can't just tell you them. You gotta, if you want all that inside information, Elliot, you gotta come on the stream and wait and listen and get involved and be part of it, and then you get some free stuff. You get a couple free picks here and there. It may take a while. I have no idea, Lauren, about that. I'm no doctor or anything like that. So what's Bill sending me now? Oh, YouTube. Okay, I can't look at that YouTube right now. Oh, that's the Flurry. Yeah, I'll look it up later. Probably later on this evening. What do we got next game? Blue Jackets and Oilers, and I don't know. The Oilers should win this game, but actually being without McLeod hurts them a lot. And I don't trust their defense worth the darn. But the Blue Jackets are also playing poorly, and Merzlikins is playing poorly. But the way they combat that is put Skinner in. Let's put Skinner in. We haven't won in, 6 games? So let's put Skinner in, see how that works out. I mean, but I mean, either one of them haven't been playing all that well. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that game. That could be 5-1 Blue Jackets. It could be 5-1 Oilers. It could be 3-2. It could be like you. It could be anything. Honestly, could be anything. I do have an inkling on what that'll be, but can't really say on one aspect of it. It could be, but it could be anything really. But as far as like who's gonna win, probably say the Oilers because they're at home, I guess, and they should be really driven to win that game. They should be. But are they going to be? I don't know. What's Patrick Waugh? How many wins does he have to get to catch Waugh now? How many wins does he have to catch Waugh now? Are Daryl, are you a member? Are you a member of my site already? Sorry. I do have parlay picks up there. If you're a member, I apologize. I don't remember a name Daryl on my site, but if you're a member, I apologize. I have parlays up there now. I got 2 for today on the site, Daryl. Sorry about that, bud. If you're a member. If you're a member, you can message me on there and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You can personal message me too, Daryl. Fully welcome to do that. I should actually tell people that on my site. If you want to ask me any questions, if you want to get my leans on stuff or whatever, let me know. Waugh has 551 wins. He's got 500. Yeah, I think he could do that. Who knows? It's Fleury, man. The guy's like he's talked about retiring, but I think that was mostly just because he was so upset about having to move again. But look what he's doing this year. Like he could drop off, I guess. He would have to have, well, he's got to have two. He'd have to get out of Chicago first. He'd have to get on a strong team. But I think he can. I think he's probably driven to do that, to catch Waugh for sure. I wouldn't doubt that he'd want to do that. Look what he's doing in Chicago right now. He's just crushing it. I think they got to get him out of Chicago as possible. He's taking too many pucks for his age, but um, what's next? Canucks and Sharks, and we already talked about it. I'm still gonna go with the Canucks. I'm gonna go with the Canucks. I like their energy right now. You might as well roll with them. I think keep on rolling with them. But I think. Do you think Marc Andre Fleury can do it? Do I think the referees bet on? No, I don't think so. I mean, they could, but I mean, they're putting their career on the line. I find that very highly unlikely. Oh, I think if Flurry's available, there'll be teams out there looking at him. I could see him. I could see him. I said it all along. I see him going back to Pittsburgh. I could see him going back to Pittsburgh. If not, I mean Edmonton. I don't know who Edmonton would give back, but if they wouldn't have got Keith, I don't know who. Maybe Barry, just to make it. You know, I don't really. It was a funny deal for Chicago to take him. It was a weird deal. The only thing I could think of is that they were holding on to the idea of being a contender. And like I was saying with Washington, Washington would be a very smart move, but I doubt they'll do it. Like if I was a team that was my window was closing, like Washington, maybe not Boston because they've already got a lot of goaltenders there, but any team that's like on the precipice of maybe having to do a rebuild in the next little while, I would be looking at Fleury for sure. If there's very few there's very few goaltenders that can actually win a cup for you, and Fleury's one of them. No, Shesterkin, I don't need him. Shesterkin is probably almost there now. I don't think they would do that. I don't think so. I think Pittsburgh would do it again. I really do. I don't even think Jari would mind. They could even keep Jari, really. Maybe. I don't know. That's tough. Jari would have to be part of that deal. But they can always find another goaltender, and if you're really wanting to win a cup one more time, who do you want, Jari or Fleury? I'd rather have Fleury. I know he's playing well, but Jari's playing well, but is that the guy you want? Goaltenders aren't impossible to find, so I could see. I still could see him going back there. Yeah, there's going to have to be some cap and all that kind of stuff like that, but I think they can make it work somehow. I think it might have been what was intended the whole time. Chicago took him because Pittsburgh couldn't take on his contract. Vegas wasn't going to retain, so they sent him to Chicago. So Chicago gives this impression to Taves and those guys that they're still kind of going for it right now, and you'll never know. We'll see what happens. Then they do what they did do and have basically fall apart, although they're trying to clamber back a little bit. And then as the cap starts to go towards the trade deadline, you don't need to give up as much cap space to go back to Pittsburgh. And Chicago picks up the draft pick or something like that, and maybe even Jari to use to build around. You don't like the Boston company? That's funny because I don't know much about it. They own the Red Sox, right? So, but they own the Red Sox. Off the wall. He seems to like the idea, so I don't know. John from Off the Wall likes it, but I seriously don't know enough about that company. I do know that it's kind of sad that you had this like private type company like with Mario Lemieux and that, and like it almost feels like that mom and pop type thing, and now it's corporate. But to me, the timing of it tells me that Pittsburgh is probably not far away from actually doing a rebuild. And everything seems to point to that, right? You got like, you hire Hextall, who showed in Philadelphia his philosophy, his patience and rebuilding and all that kind of stuff like that. So it looks like Pittsburgh's going to actually finally rebuild. It looks like it. And also the reason why I say that for Mario Lemieux and all that, they probably couldn't. It wasn't financially viable for them to do a rebuild in Pittsburgh. But a company like that, a corporate company like that, could absorb the fan base loss and maybe all that kind of stuff like that that comes with doing a deep rebuild. What fishy about it in what way? What could be fishy about it? That what could be fishy about that? Like in what way? Like what they're gonna move it? Or I don't know. You think that they're gonna move Pittsburgh? No, I don't think so. I don't know how it could be fishy, but I think it does ring in a rebuild. I think Pittsburgh definitely is going to rebuild. And I mentioned it before, and I'll say it again. I don't think Crosby is going to stick around for a rebuild. I doubt it. I think they're just owners that like to have their toys. And, owning an NHL franchise is like owning a baseball franchise. It's like having your yacht or whatever you have. And they want to do what they got to do there. And like I said, I think the big thing is they've got the pockets to absorb a rebuild in Pittsburgh. And I think it's going to happen. And I am Jay out for Arizona. Who? Jay who? Jay who out for Arizona? I think they're just buying the team, and I think they can afford to do the rebuild that needs to be done there. And I do think that I don't know. I just can't see Sidney Crosby losing. I just can't see it. I just can't. Jay, what's his face? Jay, what are you talking about? Jacob Chikrin, yes. Is that what you're talking about? Jacob Chikrin? Yeah, he's hurt for a while. So he won't be traded right away. But I don't think that trade's going to be right away anyways. Jay, what's his face? Oh, it was Swerve that said that. Chikrin. Jay Beagle. Like that makes much of a difference. But Jacob Chikrin is out. Yeah, he's hurt. He won't be traded for a while. They're going to let that. They're going to get the best deal. That would be either a deadline deal. Jacob Chikrin trade. I would wait for the summer because then you can get everybody involved at the draft or just before the draft or something like that. Then you got every team freaking calling like crazy. That's when I would do it. The deadline, you're going to be looking for contenders, and they're not going to want to give. I don't think you're going to be able to get as much out of it. Jay Beagle, okay, yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to give up what you need to give up to get Chikrin, though, Swerve. I don't know what that would look like. I don't even know. I don't think Minnesota's got enough. The amount that they would have to give up would leave them with not much. It wouldn't be pretty. And I don't think they got the type of players that Arizona is looking for, like the type of depth. O'Rourke and those kind of guys are not going to probably do it. Rossi would have to be part of the deal, I think. You got good garbage. I think Rossi would have to be part of the deal for sure. Toronto, yeah. What would Toronto? Toronto would be like for Marner, but it doesn't really make much sense, I suppose, for Arizona because again, I don't care about being good right now. I don't think it just doesn't make much sense for Toronto. I mean, Toronto would love to have it, but when you got like teams like Detroit and stuff like that offering like what you really want, like you're saying, like top first round picks and stuff. Toronto's farm system is pretty much dilapidated. Unless they're going to give Matthews, which I don't see that, then I don't see Toronto as a good fix. What would they trade though? Marner is the only thing I could think straight across, maybe. And I wouldn't do that. I don't want a winger. I would want centers and stuff like that. The Wild won't make any moves. I don't know. It's going to be tough to make moves with the way the cap's going up for them in the next couple years. So they would have to. I think JT Miller is possible. But honestly, behind closed doors, I think the Wild look at their team and know they're not really a contender. So if they can manage to win with what they got, then great. But I don't think they want to really give up a lot of assets, especially young assets, when their window is on paper anyways is probably 3 years away. Tavares, why would they want Tavares in Arizona though? You're in a rebuild, so Nylander maybe. Nylander plus maybe. Sandin. It just doesn't seem like a perfect fit for Arizona there. Nylander's great, but you can get like a super young Nylander out of other teams. LA can give you like really young, inexpensive players that can play. Some of them can play right now, so it speeds up the rebuild a little bit. Detroit can do that. The Rangers, I just have a feeling the Rangers, even though they don't really need D, they could give up like Hedel, maybe even depending on how much they like Miller, because they've got a lot of Schneider. Their first this year. I mean, they could give up a crap load. Imagine Chychrun and Fox playing on your top line. That would be insane. That'd be one of the best defensive pairings of this generation. For Chychrun straight across, I would trade Nylander. For Chychrun straight across, I would do it. No doubt about it. If they, for some reason, wanted to give me Chychrun straight across for Nylander, I would do it. Nylander is a great winger, but Chychrun's a Norris-level defenseman. And I would do it. I would do it straight across, easy. Maybe even plus. Probably plus. I really do like Nylander a lot, though. But that's how you know it's a decent trade. Matthew Robertson for Chychrun. No. Matthew Robertson, no. Matthew Robertson, no, could be part of the deal. If he could be part of the deal, I suppose, but does anybody think I'm overvaluing Chychrun? Oh, yeah. Jets would probably they wouldn't want Blake Wheeler, but the Jets I'm sure would be freaking on. They should be anyways, but I don't know if they. I don't think they got enough to get Chikrin. Phil Kessel to the Rangers, maybe. I could see it if they're really in contention. Using a bring another shooter in for the Rangers, they could use some depth scoring. I could see him going to several places, actually. Phil's going to go somewhere. I could see him going to St. Louis. I could see Phil, like if Anaheim's still in it, you never know. They could give it a shot because it's the last year of his contract, isn't it? So they don't need to re-sign him. But a team that could really use some offense but doesn't want to give up too much to get it, I don't think it would cost too much to get Phil Kessel, but if you watch him and like he's still got a great pass. He's great for the power play. You can't expect it. He doesn't really play defense for a while. No goal, no hot dog. Yeah, in New York, yeah, he's got all the hot dogs in the world there in New York. If he ended up going there, I would say the Islanders, but I just can't see Lamoriello taking a guy like him. Where could he go? I'm gonna change my thing. Where could Phil go? I could see like if Nashville was in it, them doing something like that. Because they need scoring. They got the type of team that grinds it out. If they could, a guy like Phil Kessel could bring some balance for offense for them. I could see Nashville doing something like that. They don't want to give up a lot of their youth right now. Like they're right in the middle. Yeah, I don't think Philly, because they got Atkinson, that they'd be too much of the same thing for Philly. Not New Jersey, no. New Jersey won't be in it, so I could see Nashville if they're still in a playoff spot come that time. No, not Carolina. Nah, I don't think so. And freaking Pittsburgh actually would be a decent. I don't think he'd go back there. I don't know. Nah, not likely. And then somebody said we were talking about the Vegas Golden Knights, but like Nashville, New York, and then I don't know where Vegas would ever get their cap room from, but that would be about it, I think. St. Louis Blues, possibly. I don't know why. He just seems like he would fit in there on their top six a little bit. Let's see what he would look at. Yeah, like, they got the type of team that Phil likes to play with, but right now he would take Logan Brown's spot, but that's because they got injuries. Now they already got David Perron. Maybe not. Maybe not. As long as David Perron comes back. He got hurt, and I haven't heard how he's doing. The Bell Center won't have fans for the Canadiens game. So Montreal is not going to have fans either. Montreal is not going to have fans either. Panthers, maybe, yeah. Especially, like, it also is going to depend on injuries too as we go down to the like as they get to the trade deadline. Teams get scoring injuries to their scorers and stuff like that, and all of a sudden Phil Kessel looks like a pretty good option. I mean, the guy still is a great passer. He's still good for the power play. He's got a good shot, but he can't play defense worth a darn. That's the big thing. Chychrun, I'm going to be doing that in my next video. Florida is probably going to be on the Chychrun. Florida, LA in my next video for Chychrun. The one I just did, because it's almost every team. Boston Bruins. I don't know what they could possibly do, but I'm going to give it a shot. What about the Seattle Kraken? I might put the Seattle Kraken in there. I mean, they would have to give up their first next year for sure. I don't think they got enough. They just don't have enough. They'd have to give up their whole team. Pretty much. Oh, there's the other one. The Ducks. Yeah. If I were the Ducks, I'd be all over that. But if you're Arizona, what do you want if you're Arizona? I should ask you guys that. Think about it. You're Arizona. You got him. What do you want from Anaheim? Yeah. What would you want? What would you want if you were the Ducks? If you were Arizona for Chychrun from Anaheim, what would you want? You got to remember they're young players. San Jose Sharks, I'm sure would be. That would be huge for them to get a guy like that. I just don't think they got enough prospects and stuff. Like Pearlo wouldn't matter unless he was willing to sign there. It would take up a crap load of their roster. I thought about it, but I don't think it makes much sense for them. They would love it to make sense, though. That's for sure. Gibson. Yeah, well, it would suck for Gibson. Gibson would be pissed. He goes through a rebuild with Anaheim, and now he's going to get traded into that rebuild. Oh my gosh, that'd be terrible. I don't think Arizona's going to be spending much on goaltending for a while either. But Anaheim could give their first next year for sure. 2023 first. Sam Colangelo, like pretty much I think they would say any of our prospects. Yeah, there's so many guys they wouldn't want to give up on. Because I'd want Jamie Drysdale. I'd want Jamie Drysdale. Jamie Drysdale is a pretty darn good defenseman. He's only 19 years old and he has 13 points in 31 games already. He could be almost as good, so maybe kind of lateral. I just don't think it would make sense for Arizona to get Gibson because he would just be pissed off. You don't want guys being pissed off coming to your team, right? I think, hey, Oilers hockey, man. Oh, you just came in under the wire, dude. I got to get going soon. You just got in under the wire. We were talking about more. It's been the Chychrun show again. I mean, it wasn't the only thing we talked about, but that's gonna be the story all the way up until the trade deadline. If he doesn't get traded in the trade deadline, the summer, who's going to get Chychrun. That's going to be the story for a while, I think, for sure. That's going to be enormous. We'll be talking about that quite a bit, I imagine. You're going to a hot, oh, okay. You have some hot chocolate, all right. Oh, everybody comes in. Now, see, now I start later, 1:30 to 3:30. And now everybody comes in at 3:30. Before everybody came in at 3, now everybody's coming in at 3:30. Okay, well, I hope to see you. But I got to get going now, guys. Sorry about that. That's my full 42. One more day. Oh, tomorrow. Oh, shoot. I should have been telling everybody that. I got to do an early one. I got to take my son to the doctor. So tomorrow I'm going to do a marathon. I'm probably going to start really early tomorrow. And try to give you like 3 hours or something like that. Which I should have did my... Yeah, if I'm going to do that, I'm not going to do... Oh, somebody subbed. Well, right on. I got another subber. Awesome. Whoever subbed, thank you very much. But that's my full 42, guys. I got to let you go. Tomorrow I'll be on early, so you probably won't see me tomorrow, Oilers, man. Because tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Okay, bye.